Welcome to the channel. It's Wes, the Suburban Viking. I am Midgard Axe, and today we are getting into the SOG Tactical Tomahawk. Two things before we get started. Number one, if you're new here, welcome. What I like doing is if I'm touching on an axe from a manufacturer for the very first time, I like going onto the website and giving you guys information about the company, giving you information about their website and what you can find on there, and also the products they offer. Number two, I'm not tied to any manufacturer or any axe company at all, period. None, zilch, nada. It's me alone, and my company, Midgard Axe. That's it. So I have no skin in the game when it comes to doing reviews, trying to, BS you guys. That's not what I'm about. I'm here to give you honest reviews on actual throwing axes and traditional axes and whether or not they can be thrown or not. I just enjoy it, and I enjoy giving you guys real information. So I just want to cover that before we get started. So welcome to all the new people. All right, guys, so getting into SOG, who they are as a company and their website. When you first get onto the website, it brings you to a nice page. Right now, if you go onto their website, the very first thing that is brought up is that they are offering free key knives. If you spend $99 or more, you get a free key knife. And yes, it's the key that you stick into a lock and turn, folds out into a knife. Pretty cool. So you guys spend $100 and you'll get a knife. Scrolling down, it'll go over some information about their knives. It'll also showcase some of the knives that they have right now, and it's a pretty cool design, very good marketing look on their website, some great pictures there, and then it goes into some YouTube videos showing you some of their multi-tools and such, because they do offer a wide variety of things, guys: multi-tools, knives, axes, fast hawks, etc. And then when you go down to the bottom, it says building the best folding knives, fixed blade knives, multi-tools, and situation-ready outdoor gear for over 35 years. And then down at the bottom, it has kind of like a little bit of like a mission statement. Uniformed professionals, outdoor adventurers, and everyday users can count on our mission-centric solutions designed to enhance their capabilities no matter the situation. Drawn from studying users' insights, our systems confidently embrace adversity, turn obstacles into opportunities, and push us in our pursuit of greater potential. So, pretty cool little mission statement down there at the bottom, at the very front of the page. So that's pretty nice. Very visually appealing. The front of the website and showcasing some of their knives with a little bit of a mission statement at the bottom. Pretty cool. Now there's a ton of information on their website about who they are as a company. The founder, Spencer Frazier. I can't go over all of it. The video would be forever long, but I'm going to touch on a few key things here. Spencer Frazier was born in 1955, and it says that he graduated from the UCLA as a math and science major. And pretty cool, guys. He started out his professional career as in the audio industry, making a new style of speaker system. And then it goes on here to say that he went on to work for the aerospace defense industry in a top secret black projects division as an R&D tool and die maker. And it says in here that he saw things that he still can't talk about today. Spencer talks a lot about how the SOG company started and how he got his inspiration. And it was basically from the SOG Bowie knife from Vietnam era. It says this single knife spawned the birth of SOG Specialty Tools and Knives. His one goal was to reproduce the mystical knife. The knife was magical in how it looked and felt. You could see the history as well as the functional aspects of the knife. If you continue on, it talks about how Spencer got his inspiration from founding SOG, which was basically the Bowie knife from Vietnam era. And he talks about how he really enjoyed that knife and how it gave him inspiration to basically do what he's doing now. If you scroll down a little bit farther, it talks about all the awards that SOG has won, industry awards with high-tech modern image implanted into their designs and their products. It also talks about how SOG was the first company to produce a sculptural faceted folding knife. They called it the Tomcat. Then it says with the Paratool, SOG became the second company ever to produce a folding multi-tool. Then it goes on to say that they did a few other things as well. And then at the bottom it says, "We don't settle for ordinary," says Spencer. "We never did, and we never will. For years I designed each one of our products," he says, "to be functional and comfortable to use as well as aesthetically pleasing. If I personally don't like them or wouldn't use them, they don't make it into production." Pretty cool, guys. Basically what he's saying is that every axe or every folding knife or whatever it is that they're producing, if he doesn't think it's worth it, there's no point in making it. So he puts a lot of his information and a lot of his, feelings about a product and goes, maybe, maybe not, or yeah, this is good, or I wouldn't use this, why are we selling it? That's pretty cool, guys. I really do find that when people that run companies, founders, owners, high people up in the company come down to the worker level and actually experience the products and actually, put it to use, I think a lot more decisions could be made better for the consumer, and it would probably make them more money. I do really appreciate people that are in management positions that have done the job before. I feel like they have a little bit more of an understanding about their worker base and the products that they're producing to the consumer. Not saying that every manager has to have done the job that they're managing. I'm just saying that I think it brings a little bit more perspective to their consumer base because they understand the product, which in turn gives a better product when you're managing people that are doing it. So that's just my opinion, but take it for what you want to take it as. Now, if you click on About SOG and go to the company history, it'll talk about how their story began in Vietnam, where members of a highly classified U.S. Special Ops unit known as MACV-SOG carried a unique combat knife into the jungle on covert missions. Years later, in 1986, that knife inspired a young designer named Spencer Frazier to found SOG Specialty Knives. His mission, to reproduce the original SOG Bowie knife and pay tribute to the Special Ops unit that created it. What began as a single commemorative model soon became a full line of innovative tools, field-proven by U.S. Special Forces, even honored as the Navy SEAL knife of choice. Today, SOGs are carried with confidence in the most demanding situations, forged out of tradition, hardened in the field, honed for you. So whether you're protecting others or leading an epic hunting expedition, tackling one of life's everyday challenges, or facing your most extreme conditions yet, lead the way with SOG. That's a pretty cool little story about how they got started and what gave them the inspiration to make the stuff they make today. Pretty cool. If you go to the top and click on Shop, it'll bring up a tab of all their products. Folding knives, automatic knives, assisted open knives, fixed blade knives, multi-tools, and then gear. They also offer flashlights, axes, machetes, outdoor gear, and throwing gear. Bunch of different stuff, guys, in there. You can kind of go on and look. I'm not going to go over everything, but to give you an idea, they offer a lot of different products that you can take a look at. Now, what I like doing is that normally I cover more than one axe from a manufacturer. So I'm not going to go over everything with their website because I'll cover different things as we go. This video here, I'm just going to cover the axes that they offer, and then I'm going to go over this one. If you go and click on axes underneath the gear tab, it'll bring up a list of all the axes they offer. Camp axes in different colors. They also have 3-pack throwing hawks, a survival hawk, the Voodoo Hawk Mini Satin, the Tactical Tomahawk, guys, which is the one that we have here, the Fast Hawk in black, and then the Fast Hawk in polished. So they do offer quite a few different options on here, and they look like they're almost all about the same as far as construction goes, with a little bit of difference here and there, but they do give you quite a different, different options as far as length and probably bit lengths and stuff like that from what I'm looking at here. But all in all, pretty decent little lineup of axes, but you guys are here for the Tactical Tomahawk, so let's just get into it. So clicking on the Tactical Tomahawk brings up its own page, and up at the top it gives you the name of the axe, Tactical Tomahawk, priced at $47.99. It goes into a brief description of the background of it. Based on the Vietnam Tomahawk, the Tactical Tomahawk is an extreme evolution of the original, which was considered one of the more unusual weapons of its day. Today, there is a real need for a versatile tool for breaching operations, excavation, obstacle removal, extraction, and other utility applications. The 420 stainless steel head with hard case coating is mounted to the fiberglass reinforced nylon handle with heavy-duty bolts and a steel ferrule for stability. The side hammer checkering ensures precise placement when pounding. Carried in a nylon sheath, this is a universal tool for modern man. If you scroll down the page a little bit more, it goes into some more information about the Tomahawk and some pictures and updated incarnation of an ancient design. It talks about how military and LE personnel use tools like this for breaching doors and windows, excavation, cutting cables, and as a backup to all other backups. So online it says that the overall specs of this thing is 15 3/4 inch long. The blade length is 2 3/4 inches long. It also talks about how the blade steel is a 420 stainless steel. The handle is a glass reinforced nylon. And the sheath material, it says, is ballistic nylon. And then it closes with a snap, guys. It talks about the weight, which is 24 ounces. The finish is black, and I do believe they offer another finish as well. Country of origin, it does tell you in here this axe was made in China. And the Rockwell hardness is between 51 and 53. It does have a straight bit profile. Comes in black, sheaths in black, and it does have a belt loop. Alright guys, so let's get into the first impressions. Let's go over the specs and I'll tell you my overall impression of what I think about this handling it for the first time, and if the specs are true, and what I think about it overall and how I think it's going to fly. Going over the first thing, which is the sheath. It is a really nice sheath. It feels like it's very, it's constructed very well. It's kind of rigid feeling. And it does have a belt loop. All the stitching on it's really nice. Nothing's coming apart. The rivets on the sides that are holding it together are in place. They're not bulging out or coming out. And it's just really nice. It does have a snap here on the front that you can, close it up if you needed to. I will say one thing about the sheath that I noticed when I first started messing with it is that this snap right here is extremely easy to come loose. It doesn't take much force to close it, and it takes no force at all to open it. So if I was them, I'd probably go back to finding a little bit of a better snap, because this thing's just coming undone way too easy. It does have a hole at the bottom for the handle to slide down into, and then it closes at the top. Taking this thing out's pretty decent. All I did was I kind of put it on my hip here and kind of ran it down, and then it goes down the handle and comes off. So not a bad sheath at all. Just that snap is a little gentle. It's a little, comes apart really easily. So I'd probably work on that. But all in all, not a bad sheath. And what do we do with sheaths on this channel, guys? We toss them. Okay, so getting into specs, online it says that the length of this is coming in at 15 3/4, and we're going to measure it here, and I got 15 1/2. I got 15 1/2 inches. Online it says the bit length is 2 3/4, and here I got 2 1/2. 2 1/2 inch bit length. We're going to go over the head length as well. I didn't see that on there. We'll go over from bit to pole. We got 8 inches from the bit to the pole. Online it says it's coming in at 24 ounces. I'm going to weigh it on my scale and see what I got. On my scale, I got 1 pound and 9 ounces. So getting into the head and working our way down, you do have an interesting bit design. Mine came in at 2 1/2 inches. It kind of swoops up here at the toe and then kind of rounds itself off down here at the heel. You do have some circular patterns cut into the actual head. You have a checker pattern right in this area on both sides, okay? Then you have an elongated pole with like a pick on the back. Guys, this pick isn't sharp. It's not going to cut you, but it feels like it's sharp enough to where if you needed to like dig into something, you could, okay? You do have a polymer handle construction, and there are bolts running through on each side to hold this steel ferrule right in here on this polymer handle. When you go down here, it does have like a ribbed shaped grip, and there's no knob down at the bottom, guys. There is a hole drilled through the bottom for like a lanyard or some 550 cord, but it does feel decent in the hand. I do like the weight of it. It feels like it's probably more evenly distributed weight, even though you would think that this thing has a plastic handle. It's coming in pretty evenly distributed, though when you hold it, you can definitely feel that the weight is at the top. So that's nice. I will say one thing that I initially saw that I was worried about when I bought this. If you guys haven't seen the video where I went to Bass Pro and bought this, go and check it out. But I did say in that video that I was a little concerned with these ribs down here. Maybe with gloves on, it probably isn't a big deal. But I can tell you right now, I don't like that feel with my bare hands. I can tell that after throwing this for a while, those ribs are just going to rub into my hand. But I'm going to throw it and see what happens. Maybe it's just how it feels originally, but I can tell you right now, I'm probably right about the ribs. I don't care for this handle. As far as the bit goes, it's okay. It's okay. It's not like super sharp, but it's not dull either. It's somewhere in between. So, I could probably throw it and stick it like this, but I'd like it a little sharper. The bit profile is nice. It's nice and even, okay? And it does have a nice tapering bit. And the cheeks right in this area are a little fat. So you could do probably a little bit of universal work with this because the bit's not super thin. And the cheeks aren't super thin. So, but when it gets down to the bit, it does have a nice degree for sticking. So all in all, not bad. The head is in line with the handle, and the bit is in line with the handle. So we will get a nice true throw when you go to throw this. I would like that bit to have been a little bit bigger, maybe 3 inches, 3 1/4. I think 2.5 is a tad bit small, but we're going to get into it and throw it. I will tell you, just from kind of holding it in my hand, I think this thing is going to fly pretty decent. This one's got me a little stumped, and I think it's maybe because of the way that the handle feels on my hand. I think it's going to throw really well, and I'm going to flip it around and see if I can sharpen this up and hit this on the target too. But I will say that I am a little concerned about how it's attached up here. There is a good significant amount of weight up here on this polymer handle with bolts going through it. So I can see where that might fail. I don't know if it will or won't. I'm just giving you my initial impressions, so that's something I'm going to look out for. I don't know how well this is going to hold up to missed throws, banging it up against the target. We're going to find that out too, but we'll see. I do know that the Fiskars hatchets and axes hold up extremely well to missed throws. My boys have those, and they use those for practice, and they beat those things to hell. So if the polymer's anything like the Fiskars, then this thing should be fine. But like I said, we're going to test it and find out. All in all, not a bad feeling Tomahawk. I do feel like I can toss this thing really hard, and I'm going to, but I can definitely feel like if I got behind it, I could really get into some fast throwing with it and throw this thing really hard. But finishing up the video, what do I think about it? I think it looks really cool. I think it's weighted pretty decent. I would like that bit to have been a little bit bigger, but I'm still going to throw it. You do have a straight bit profile, so you're not going to have a lot of over rotation or under rotation, and it's still sticking. But I do like the fact that the head is pushed far away from the handle, which is a nice thing. Don't care for this handle, but we're going to throw it and see. If I think what I'm going to end up having to do is probably go back and put some grip tape down at the bottom, because I can tell you right now, just from doing this, those ribs are really getting under my skin. It's just bothering the hell out of me. But I do think that it's pretty well constructed. I am a little concerned with how it's going to do holding up with missed throws and banging up against the target with those bolts going through a polymer handle, but we're going to test it and see. So come back for part 2 when I take this thing outside and I throw it really hard. I'm going to do some cool throwing with it, see how well it holds up, see if this polymer handle holds up, and see how well this bit does. So come back and watch part 2. I'm going to take this outside and throw it. I'm going to throw it hard. I'm going to test this handle. I'm going to test this bit, and we're going to see what this thing has to offer and if it can hold up. Okay, so until next time, guys, I appreciate all your support. I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching this. Come back for part 2 when I take this thing out and chuck it hard. But until next time, guys, see ya.